Okay, so finally, here is Bret Michaels on Zangi. This is going to wind up being really, really long. So I'm going to do 15-minute increments and we'll get through it in the next couple of days. So um, he starts off, or I start off saying country music, because that was his name. He says, "Hey, dear." We were watching South Park, so I said, "Hello, please." He says, "Hope your day was going good today." I said, "Yep, it was just fine. Today was a good day." He says, "Good to hear that. It was pretty good, though." And then I decided to throw in some Ice Cube lyrics. I don't have a flow, so laugh it up as I read this. "I was just waking up in the morning, and I had to thank God. I don't know, but today seemed kind of odd. No barking from the dog, no smog, and my mother cooked the breakfast with no hog. So I got my grub on, but I didn't pig out. I finally got a call from a guy I want to dig me out. Hooked it up for later as I hit the door, thinking, will I live another 24? He says, what did you had for lunch? I said, some Easy-E barbecue with iced tea. He says, oh, cool. I had crock pot burgundy beef with egg noodles. And I said, that actually sounds pretty good, which it did. He says, yeah. And then I said, earlier today, I was cruising down the street in my 6'4", jacking the freaks, clocking the dough. I went to the park to get the scoop, and those knuckleheads out there come shooting some hoop. A car pulls up, and who can it be? A fresh El Camino rolling Kilo G. He rolled down his window, and he started to say, it's all about making that GTA. It was weird, and those are Easy-E lyrics. He says, I'm single and I want to meet a woman that can accept me as I am and who I am. I want to be love again all my life. I have been single for long, but now I want to found the right woman that I can spend all my life with as one family. And you know, it's really hard to find someone who loves you when you have the power, money, and fame. So I went and did some digging to see if hopefully Bret Michaels was with somebody. And I said, what about Christy? You two have children together. That's rude. Well, if Christy isn't doing it for you, hopefully you find someone he or she will be good for you. And he says, yes, we do, but we are separated now, but I still see my kids. Good morning. I have a lot of shows to attend, and I'm always busy. I won't be able to talk to you much, but I promise you that I will always try my best to talk to you every day. I said, I have a busy, well-paying job. I respond when I can. He says, good to hear that. Where do you want us to go from here? And then I said, I don't know. Going to Japan sounds fun, but I don't like their food. And then I swear, none of these people have heard of the song Kokomo, because I've gotten to do that one several times and nobody calls me out. So I said, how about Aruba or Jamaica, Bermuda, Bahama, Key Largo, Montego? Jamaica is off the Florida Keys. There's a place called Kokomo. That's where I want to go to get away from it all. That would be great. Anywhere you want to, let this leads to, dear. And then I said, we can go by plane. There's a raging fire in my heart tonight, growing higher and higher in my soul. There's a raging fire in the sky tonight. I want to ride on the silver dove, far in, it's supposed to say into the night, until the night. And he thumbs up Mighty Wings by Cheap Trick from Top Gun. He says, I'm a very simple man, but at the same time, deep and complicated with my thoughts. Easygoing with people that are not picky. Open-minded, very honest, sometimes more than it should be. I'm passionate about almost any kind of music. For me, it's like a kind of expression. I'm passionate about dancing, especially salsa. It just releases your soul. Open to changes. You never know what life has for you and what new lessons you are going to learn. What kind of people you are going to meet, and in which way are they going to touch your heart. I am not sure if Bret Michaels is a salsa dancer, but, and then I continued, until I make you take me, excuse me, on your mighty wings. Make you take me on your mighty wings across the sky. Take me on your mighty wings. Take me on your mighty wings tonight. He says, good to hear, Here, that. I'll fix that out once I'm done with some stuff. I still got a busy schedule for now, my dear. Just be patient, okay? He says, are you a Christian and do you believe in God Almighty? I am smarter and more original than that. Okay. I am caring, loving, and God-fearing. If you want a man that knows how to treat a lady and respect him, then read on. I am a hard-working man. And to his silly 2 questions, I said, I am a Christian, but I don't believe in God. Or we can go by boat. I've always wanted to go on a sailboat. So I lead into the next song. Let me sail, let the Orinoco flow. Let me reach, let me beach on the shores of Tripoli. Let me sail, let me crash upon your shore. Let me reach, let me beach far beyond the Yellow Sea. De, because, Enya adds that duh, duh. Then I said, sail away, from Bissau to Palau in the shade of Avalon. He says, do you like any gospel musician? And then he catches on to what I said. Huh? Why don't you believe in God? Because I'm sorry, I just think that's such a stupid set of questions. Are you a Christian? Do you believe in God? You're not going to get an answer from a Christian that says, nah, God, I don't believe in God, but I am a Christian. And I said, do you really want to know? It's kind of a long story. I can tell you. I don't mind. Just know it's kind of a long story. You may not look at me the same after. Sad face. He says, I want to know, dear. I said, okay. He says, yes, dear. And then my story on, excuse me, why I don't believe in God. Way back when I was just a little bitty girl living in a box under the stairs in the corner of the basement of the house half a block down the street from Jerry's bait shop. You know the place. Well, anyway, back then life was going swell and everything was just peachy. Except, of course, for the undeniable fact that every single morning my mother would make me a big old bowl of sauerkraut for breakfast. Seriously, a big bowl of sauerkraut every single morning. It was driving me crazy. So I said to my mom, hey, Mom, what's up with all the sauerkraut? And my dear sweet mother looks at me the way a cow looks at an oncoming train. And she leaned down next to me and said, it's good for you. So she tied me to the wall, stuck a funnel in my mouth, and force-fed me nothing but sauerkraut until I was 26 and a half years old. And that's when I swore that I would get out of that basement and travel to a magical faraway place where the sun is always shining and the air smells like warm root beer. And the towels are oh so fluffy, and the Shriners and the lepers play their ukuleles all day long, and anyone on the street will gladly shave for your back for a nickel. It was much abusive. If nobody knows, that's the song Albuquerque by Weird Al. It's just one big troll song of his. And then I continue, although I did pray. And it wasn't long before my dream came true, because the next day a radio station was holding a contest to see who could correctly guess the number of molecules in Leonard Nimoy's butt. I was off by 3, but I won the grand prize of a first-class one-way ticket to Albuquerque, New Mexico. He said, oh, okay, that's a long story, truly. At first, when I talk to you, I understand why you feel am not real or am fake. Which I don't think with this guy, I even acted like I thought he was fake. I know that we have all manner of people claiming to be who they are not. Listen to every single words I tell you. Select every single words carefully. I was raised never to lie. I got so used to being honest, sincere, and truthful that it became a problem for me. Have you ever been lied to? See, guys, this is absolutely Bret Michaels, because he can't lie. He said so. So it's obviously true. I said, sure, yes, I have been. And then I continue. I'd never been on a real airplane before. And I got to tell you, it was really great, except that I had to sit between 2 large Albanian women with excruciatingly severe body odor, and the little kid in the back of me kept throwing up the whole time. The flight attendants ran out of Coca-Cola, which the lyric is actually Dr. Pepper, excuse me, and salted peanuts with the in-flight movie was Biodome with Pauly Shore. So I prayed, and 3 of the airplane engines burned out, and we went into a tailspin and crashed into a hillside. and the plane exploded in a giant fireball and everybody died. Then in parentheses, I said, so I guess maybe God could have had a hand in rescuing me from Biodome. And I continued, except for me. You know why? Because I had my tray table up and my seat back in the full upright position. So I crawled from the twisted, burning wreckage. I crawled on my hands and knees for 3 full days, dragging along my big leather suitcase and my garment bag, and my tenor saxophone and my 12-pound bowling ball, and my lucky autographed glow-in-the-dark snorkel. But finally I arrived at the world-famous Albuquerque Holiday Inn, where the towels are oh so fluffy, and you could eat your soup right out of the ashtrays if you want to. It's okay, they're clean. He responds, oh, that sucks. That was really terrible, dear. Thanks for the compliments. It's not as easy as the world think it is. Die-hard fans like you are the reason why we keep moving. Thanks for the love and support. You deserve a gift. Gotta get that script in. I said, you put the boom boom into my heart emoji. You send my soul sky high when your lovin', it's supposed to say lovin', starts. Jitterbug into my brain, goes bang, bang, bang until my feet do the same. He says, smile, smiley emoji. And then, I like fishing, camping, reading, going to the movies, hanging around with friends, cracking jokes, listening to music, dancing, and also spending time with someone interesting. 4 exclamation marks. I will like to be with the right woman of my dream. Someone I can hold and be with all my life. Like, I didn't ask Bret, but... And then I said, well, I can tell by the way you use your walk that you're a woman's man. No time to talk. Music loud and women warm. You've been kicked around since you were born. Sad face. But now it's all right. It's okay. I may look the other way, and we can try to understand the New York Times effect on man. Sad face. He says, good to hear. I say, whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're staying alive. Staying alive. And then he heart emojied that, maybe catching on. I want to see a selfie picture of you now, my dear. I continue. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, people staying alive. And then I said, I'm afraid not. I'm still at the hospital. I'll be here the next 9 hours. I do 24-hour on-call shifts. You're lucky I'm even able to talk. These people come in and they tell me they're in love with you, so I tell them what to do. I say, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. And it usually works. If not, they get a script for Prozac. And he says, oh, okay, once you're able to take a picture, don't forget to send it to me, okay? And then he said, funny you, my dear. I think he might have caught my witch doctor lyrics and thought I was just being a doctor making a stupid joke. That's great to hear, thou. And then I responded to the picture comment. Sure, sure. And then I continue, because I'm going to ram in another song. My coworker Jan is something else. Jan lays down and wrestles in her sleep. Moonlight spills on comic books and superstars in magazines. An old friend calls and tells us where to meet. A plane takes off from Baltimore and touches down on Bourbon Street. Sad face. We sit outside and argue all night long about a God we've never seen, but never fails to side with me. Sunday comes and all the papers say Ma Teresa's joined the mob and happy with her full-time job. He says, oh, really? That song, by the way, was Standing Outside a Broken Phone Booth with Money in My Hand by the Primitive Radio Gods. It was huge in the 90s, and you forgot about that song. I guarantee it. He says, oh, really? Do you have any assets? I said, assets? Like what? He says, it means properties and stuffs like that. I said, yeah, I do. Why? I have 2 properties in Beverly Hills. I do not. I said, that's where I want to be. Living in Beverly Hills, rolling like a celebrity, which is a Weezer lyric. And then he says, I do have a lot of assets and properties all over, but I need now is to settle down with the right woman of my dreams soon after my tour show. Good morning, dear. I told him, well, good luck with that. Can I trust you for all this conversation because it's my privacy and I don't want to lose all my dignity? And I said, sure. You know, I met one of my former loves after the airplane crash, and I crawled to the world-famous Albuquerque Holiday Inn. Well, I checked into my room, and I turned down the AC, and I turned on the Spectravision, and I'm just about to eat that little chocolate mint on my pillow that I love so very, very much, when suddenly there's a knock on the door. Well, now, who could that be? I say. Who is it? No answer. Who is it? There's no answer. Who is it? They're not saying anything. He says, so, did you find out the person knock on the door? I said. So I finally go over and I open the door, and just as I suspected, it's some big fat hermaphrodite with a flock of seagulls haircut and only one nostril. Oh man, I hate it when I'm right. So anyways, he bursts into my room and he grabs my lucky snorkel, and I'm like, hey, you can't have that. That snorkel's been just like a snorkel to me. And he's like, tough. And I'm like, give it. And he's like, make me. And I'm like, okay. So I grabbed his leg and he grabbed my esophagus, and I bit off his ear and he chewed off my eyebrows, and I took out his appendix and he gave me a colonic irrigation. Yes, indeed, you better believe it. And somehow in the middle of it all, the phone got knocked off the hook, and 20 seconds later, I heard a familiar voice. And you know what it said? I'll tell you what it said. It said, if you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator. If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator. And I said, member landlines? Of course you do. You're old. Anyways, we are at 16 minutes, so I am going to cut it off there. I will get the rest up over the next couple of days, I promise. So anyways, thank you for watching, and hope everybody has a good night.